Now on WRDE Coast TV.
Online sports betting is on the way to Delaware. Change is coming to sports betting rules on game day.
Protecting your homes from rising waters. What's proposed for coastal towns?
Hurricane Lee is growing stronger and bigger, and we point out that we got to keep a close eye on him. He's becoming a Category 5 and headed in our direction. I'll show you what I'm tracking and why this major hurricane might concern you.
Popular Bar and Grill closing in Rehoboth. The last day you can enjoy it.
From the beaches to the bays, coverage you can count on. WRDE Coast TV News at 6 starts right now.
Sports betting in Delaware going virtual. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Charlie Sakaitis has the evening off. Welcome to our news at 6. Placing your bets on game day will look different in the first state.
The Delaware Lottery is giving people the option to sports bet online and sooner than you might think. Coast TV News' Charles Reinhardt is live in Milton. Charles, people today said they're excited for the change.
Maddie, here in the first state, sports gambling has been legal since 2009. And right now, in order to place your bets, what you have to do is come to a business like this gas station here in Milton, grab one of these parlay cards, and physically fill it out with a pencil, just like this. But pretty soon, you'll be able to place your bets with something like this. Now, the state says that these parlay cards are extremely profitable, but online gambling in neighboring states, such as Maryland, has proved to be big competition. Now, the state already offers virtual casino games at the state's casinos, but the Delaware Lottery is signing on with a new online platform that also offers sports betting. The lottery also says that the biggest push for this change was simply demand.
Our expectations are that we will at least make what we're making currently right now with the parlay cards. We're hoping to succeed that.
The state lottery says you can start placing your bets with your phone as soon as this coming winter. I'm Charles Reiner, live in Milton, Coast TV News.
Thank you, Charles. Well, every one of Delaware's neighboring states already offers online sports betting. And people today said it's about time the first state allowed it.
Yeah, they're behind on it, but why? Who knows? You know, it's like they said, we're slower, lower Delaware, so we don't want to jump on things first anyway.
And don't forget, football is back. The #1 sport begins tonight at 7 with the Lions versus the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. And guess what? You're going to see it right here on Coast TV.
Even though Delaware doesn't have online sports betting yet, the state of Maryland does. According to the Maryland Lottery and Gaming Agency, online players wagered over $2 billion from July 2022 to June 2023. The agency says that from over $2 billion has been paid to winning players. Officials say they generated $137 million in revenue from the wins, and they say from that amount, over $20 million went to the state for online sports betting. And that will bring us to our Coast TV poll tonight. We want to know, would you participate in online sports betting here in Delaware?
Let's take a look at the updated results from last hour. Pretty lopsided right now, with 67% saying no, they're no interest in that, though 33% say yes, though I think this probably will change, Mallory.
That's right. You can keep voting on our news app or our website, and we'll have updated results later on in the newscast. Coastal towns are coming together to fight climate change. People who own houses on the water tell us they're experiencing more and more damage as sea levels rise. Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber introduces us to a man who, for him, this is an everyday battle.
Phil Winkler not only lives on the bay in Dewey Beach, but also at the lowest point above sea level.
I've had over $12,000 worth of damage of losing a refrigerator, a hot water heater, and property damage to the porch and stuff.
He is just one homeowner who says he sees the effects of climate change. Mayors and town managers came together today at the Association of Coastal Towns meeting to generate a plan and funds to battle erosion, rising sea levels, and other environmental factors. Dewey Beach Mayor Bill Stevens is worried about the future if ideas don't become actions.
More frequency in which the bay has been rising, in which the more frequency in which the tides have taken away all the work we've done in terms of beach replenishment over the years.
Town says since restarting this association, they've been more united in asking for resources. Towns have also passed drainage ordinances aimed at reducing flooding. Phil Winkler says it's a frequent problem.
It's flooded every couple days for the past month and a half.
The next step for ACT is to create a climate change protection plan that has more concrete steps to protect property and the environment in a way that abides by all town codes.
Coastal town officials said in the meeting today they're going to seek help from state officials with their climate change protection plan. In Dewey Beach, I'm Lisa Weber, Coast TV News.
As we take a live look right now into Ocean City, the Gateway Subaru camera there, an absolutely beautiful day outside, but something we are tracking very closely, a hurricane brewing in the Atlantic. Our first alert chief meteorologist Paul Williams joins us now tracking Hurricane Lee.
It's very early at this point, but we want to give you a quick heads up as to what's happening with Lee. First of all, we're looking at already a Category 4 according to the latest information. We're expecting it to strengthen to a Category 5 pretty quickly now because of the unusual warm water that is passing over right now in the Atlantic. Now, we're expecting for it to go back down to a Category 4 as it's passing over places like Hispaniola and those areas before it arrives towards or closer to the East Coast. Now, the latest spaghetti modeling of this storm is indicating most of them is going to cluster here and they stop because there's only so much time that we can forecast ahead of time or project. But generally speaking, we're looking at it going to a Category 5 back down to a Category 4 because of the cooler weather. Now, cooler water mass, pardon me. But I want to show you something. You see, what's happening is as we go into next Friday, this isn't tomorrow, but next Friday, we're looking for this to settle right here off of the East Coast. But there's going to be a bit of a batting action happening because the front's going to push through and bat this thing to our north. So it should stay out of our immediate path. At least that's the early indication as of right now. So we are calm for right now, but we will continue to track this storm as it continues to churn out in the deep Atlantic. Mallory?
Thank you, Paul. The Delaware Senate will consider nominations for the newly formed Marijuana Appeals Commission. That will take place at a special session held this Friday by Governor John Carney. According to the state, the Senate is considering Michael Houghton and William Chapman Jr. to serve on the commission. The commission was formed after recreational marijuana was legalized in Delaware. The state says the commission must submit an annual report to the governor and members of the General Assembly in all matters regarding marijuana regulations and sales.
Delaware State Police are investigating a car crash that happened Wednesday night in Frankfort. Police say the crash happened on Zion Church Road near Evans Road. Troopers say a 50-year-old man from Ocean View ran off the roadway while taking a curve on Zion Church Road. Here's a photo of the car damaged from that accident. Pretty badly there. Troopers say he struck a Delmarva power pole. You see there before the car flipped. They say the man told them he wasn't hurt, but troopers say they saw signs of impairment when they were speaking with him. According to police, the driver was charged with driving under the influence and other traffic-related offenses.
A school bus crash caused a 3-car crash in the Love Creek Elementary School parking lot this morning. According to police, a Toyota Prius and a Jeep Wrangler behind it were stopped at the intersection with Route 24. At the same time, troopers say a school bus was driving through the parking lot of the elementary school with 36 students inside. Police say the bus approached the intersection, failed to stop, and rear-ended the Jeep, which in turn rear-ended the Toyota. Troopers say 2 children in the back of the Toyota were taken to the hospital to be checked out. According to police, the driver of the school bus was cited for careless driving.
The Pond Bar and Grill, a restaurant and live music venue, it's closing permanently after many years. The restaurant says its official closing party begins this Saturday at 11 a.m. It was downtown in Rehoboth for years before moving to Coastal Highway.
The Sussex Conservation District approved a new cost-share program to increase oyster aquaculture in Sussex County. The organization says this program will provide an incentive payment per harvested oyster to fund nutrient reductions in the Inland Bays watershed. Officials say this program has the potential to remove over 70,000 pounds of nitrogen from the bays. They say applications for the oyster aquaculture cost-share program will be accepted year-round. According to the organization, cost-share payments will be made quarterly at 5 cents per harvested oyster and a maximum annual payment for 150,000 oysters totaling over $7,500.
Continuing with Sussex Conservation District, the organization also approved funding for the annual tax ditch cost share program. According to officials, they approved over $770,000 for that. They say the funding will go towards routine maintenance for lands and drainage maintenance for watershed areas. The organization says it's received 260 applications for the program.
85% of Bethany Beach is at sea level. That's according to a recent geological survey. This makes the coastal community extremely prone to flooding. Meteorologist Jeanette Gallardo shows us where the town is proposing a dam be built to resolve this issue.
You are looking at the Loop Canal. This is where Bethany Beach reaches its lowest elevation. Where the Assawoman Canal and the Loop Canal meet, right here, is where the town is proposing a dam to be built to stop water from entering the Loop Canal. Its location raises concern over how it may affect more than just the natural landscape.
I guess my only question would be how it's going to affect the recreation. I see a lot of vehicles, a lot of boats going up and down the canal, and if there's a dam, I don't know what's going to happen with that.
According to the town of Bethany Beach, over 95% of the town's stormwater drains right here into the tidal Loop Canal. So that means that when tides rise, that water gets pushed back into those drainage outlets, causing Bethany Beach to flood.
For others, the dam sounds like a reasonable solution.
Anything that's going to improve the quality and the landscape of our beautiful Delmarva land, I say go for it.
The town is hoping feedback will flood its online survey about the proposed dam project.
The construction of this dam is estimated to cost $2 million. And so the town is now looking for grant opportunities to move this project forward. In Bethany Beach, I'm meteorologist Jeanette Gallardo, Coast TV News.
We have a lot more news to get to this evening.
Picking up trash in Sussex County, a day and time you can volunteer to help beautify 2 communities.
And communities throughout Delmarva dealing with record-setting heat. 97 for the high at Easton, Georgetown, and Salisbury. And more heat like that is on the way.
But first, a proposed park for this Milford field. Mixed emotions about the project. We're back in just 60 seconds.
All Exteriors offers vinyl siding, stone veneer, and another option you may never have heard of, fiber cement siding.
It's nearly indestructible and energy efficient.
Plus, get leaf-for-leaf gutter guards free or $1,000 off. Call All Exteriors today.
J. Con Scott. J. Con Scott. Fine furniture and new location interiors on Route 1, Rehoboth Beach.
Our training and roofing qualifies All Exteriors to give the best warranty. 50-year material and 25-year workmanship.
Plus, get leaf-for-leaf gutter guards free or $1,000 off, or payments as low as $99 a month. Call All Exteriors for your free quote today.
These 19 acres of farmland purchased by the city of Milford may be transformed into a park.
Coast TV News reporter Britt Leone is live in Milford. Britt, while the city says the proposed park is in preliminary stages, officials believe this will provide people with more activities to do in the city.
Maddie, Mallory, you're about to see 19 acres of open space. This farmland here, it's open space that Economic Development Admin Sarah Bloom says the city wants to provide people with opportunities to do things outside, like go on walks, go biking, play at the playground. There may even be a pickleball court in the future of this park for you pickleball fans. A few people I spoke with earlier today say they have some concerns about the park being built here, but the majority of people I spoke with are excited at the possibility. 19 acres of farmland off of South Rehoboth Boulevard and North Horseshoe Crab Road is in talks of transforming into a park. It's something that James Brown, who lives in a house that backs into the land, has some concerns about.
Because I think that right away here will be a butt to my property. So I do have some concerns about that, and I'd like to see maybe some kind of barrier between the right of way and perhaps my property. I'm not sure if that's possible.
But Brown does see the good the park could provide the city overall.
It's actually one of the best options that's available, or is important because it doesn't mean more condensed housing. It doesn't mean strip malls, and we actually need more spaces in the community itself.
More space for more activity is what preliminary plans for the park show, with a playground, open multi-use fields, a bike path that wraps around the area, and walking paths. William Freeman, who lives in Milford, believes the park will give his kids more opportunities to make friends in the community.
Yeah, the kids don't know what another kid is around. They just know the TV or video game. I say as much as the house costs, you need to go outside, you know? I don't know what our neighbors do or like. So that's what I would look forward to.
A possible plan to bring more options for outdoor activities to the people of Milford. Milford Parks and Recreation Director Brad Dennehy says that they're submitting an application to DENREC for funding for the project next week. He says he's hopeful that construction will start within the next year. I'm Britt Leone in Milford, Coast TV News.
Dangerously high temperatures continue to keep a tight grip on the Delmarva Peninsula. We broke yet another record high for today, got up to 97. The old record was set in 1954, and we could break another record tomorrow.
The Labor Day sale at Johnny Janosic is now extended. Get Delaware's guaranteed lowest prices, plus 0% APR financing for 60 months, or take an extra 20% off. The Labor Day sale ends Monday at Johnny Janosic.
Rural communities are on the front lines of a changing climate. Farmers can implement climate-smart practices that improve soil health, nutrient management, and energy efficiency. These practices improve our profitability, resiliency, and help to open new markets.
We know voluntary conservation works and are committed to working with farmers and forest landowners to leverage resources to increase climate resiliency through conservation practices. To learn more about climate smart practices, scan this QR code to find your local USDA service center.
With Food Lion Feeds, I get to give back in ways I never imagined.
What are you doing? I'm picking tomatoes.
From growing fresh produce for our neighbors in need, to remodeling local pantries so we can help even more people. But my favorite thing is delivering hot meals to make Miss Baker's day.
What's your favorite? That looks delicious.
Here to fill tables and hearts with hope. Food Lion Feeds, here for every moment.
This is a life show. We laugh together, we cry together, we cook together. And in life, everything happens. And on this show, we talk about everything.
Make Tamron Hall a golden hour of your day.
Moving to 3 p.m. on Coast TV in September.
It's time to take your outdoor living space to the next level. Shop the Labor Day Outdoor Sale at Johnny Janosic and get 0% APR for 60 months or take an extra 20% off. Don't miss the Labor Day Outdoor Sale at Johnny Janosic.
Play the Maryland Lottery. Because fun looks good on you. Right now, play our exciting new Battleship, Connect 4, and Yahtzee Fast Play games for a chance to win up to $50,000. The Today Show, weekdays at 7 on WRDE.
I'd like to just show you how crazy the heat got earlier today. Felt like 120 to 115 earlier today in Seaford. That's just how hot it felt when you factored in the humidity and the temperature readings that were so high for today. We escalated to about 112 in Princess Anne, just as an example. And this is where we are right about right now. It feels like 107 in Seaford, 103 in Salisbury, and 114 in Princess Anne. Just as an example of how serious this heat really is. Now, we do have some scattered showers and thunderstorms firing up to our northwest, and there's actually a heat advisory in the most northern county of the state, and actually there's a severe thunderstorm watch to our west, but all those storms are going to continue to skip to the north, so that's not a big deal for us. But record-breaking heat will continue to hover over us. We're watching out for isolated thunderstorms over the weekend, and we are tracking Lee like we did earlier in the newscast, and it is indeed going to be a Category 5 soon. So when you take another look at the radar, you'll notice, of course, we have all those advisories to our north. Well, what's happening here is we have a trough here in this cold front and a couple other cold fronts behind this. And those cold fronts, these cold fronts are going to be very helpful for us because they're going to act like a big, gigantic bat and foul tip that big, gigantic monster of a storm called Lee away from us. But we'll get to that in a moment. We're at 80 degrees in Rehoboth and Bethany. It's 91 in Seaford, 86 Del Mar, 90 in Milford at this hour. But it feels like 100 in Selbyville right now, 104 in Seaford, updated to the last moment, 103 in Greenwood, just as an example of how sweltering it is. Take a look at the trend. I mean, look at this. We were at 92 on Monday, 93, 96, 97. It's like an old game show where the bid keeps going up higher and higher. And tomorrow, we're still going to stay in the 90s for yet another day. Please keep in mind, we're supposed to only be at about 82 degrees. That's how far we are from the norm. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to blossom by Friday afternoon, according to our model runs. But then they dissipate pretty quickly for Friday evening. Saturday morning, we start off with sunshine. Then Saturday afternoon, we see spotty showers building up with a few clouds here and there. So we want to be mindful of that. And as we track the temperature versus the heat, well, see, we're going to get up to the 90s. That's the yellow line. But the orange line is what it's going to feel like, 100 to 101. That's what it's going to feel like going into tomorrow. And so as we begin to take a look at our expectations for Saturday going into Sunday, we eventually drop back into the 80s. Here's Hurricane Lee, expected to move up to a Category 5 hurricane before it's all said and done. It's at a 4 right now. And all the models are looking pretty uniform. But as you take a last look at our modeling right now, it's an interesting thing that's happening. Remember I said that baseball bat analogy? This is it. You see how everything comes together? This is the bat, this is the ball. And it's supposed to foul tip it away from us. Hopefully, it stays that way. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration extended forecast. Yeah, we're looking for a chance of rain for the next few days in a row.
Thank you. Cleanups are happening in 2 Sussex County towns. The first one is in Seaford. According to the city, volunteers can pick up trash along Williams Pond and the Nanaco River on September 16th from 9 to 11:30 a.m. The city says it will have supplies available for cleanup. The second is in Blades. That will be its fall cleanup event September 30th from 7 a.m. to noon at Blades Park.
There is a new water bottle refilling station at Grove Park. That's according to the city of Rehoboth Beach. The city says it's located on the side of the park restroom facility. Officials say this will come in handy for park visitors and those using the nearby bike and walking trail.
Time to take one more look at our Coast TV poll. We want to know if you would participate in online sports betting in Delaware. A majority still saying no, they would not. If you want to vote, do that at WRDE.com or our mobile app. And we'll have those updates for you on Coast TV News at 11.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
It's a big weekend of football in the first state at the high school level. We've got an interstate battle between Woodbridge and Colonel Richardson. It's the first game for the Blue Raiders against a Free State opponent since beating Cambridge South Dorchester in 2018. Woodbridge topped Seaford 26-20 last Thursday to open the season 1-0. The Colonels are also riding high after a 57-0 win over Washington. CR hasn't played Woodbridge since 2012, and it's the only Delaware game on the Colonels' schedule this year. Kickoff for that game is slated for 7 p.m. Coverage begins with scoops and scores at 6:30 tonight on DSN. And our coverage continues tomorrow as Del Mar takes on the Delaware Military Academy. The Wildcats are 1-0 after starting the season on a great note with a 49-12 win over John Dickinson. Junior quarterback Nathan Van Zant steps into the lead role under center for the Wildcats, where he'll be relied on to make good decisions in the wing T. Meanwhile, the Seahawks are coming off a 44-21 loss to Salesianum in Game 1, but first-year head coach Matt Carey was optimistic coming out of it. DMA is a 2A school that was playing up to a 3A, kept it competitive until the 4th. Kickoff at 7 p.m. Coverage begins at 6 on DSN. That'll do it for sports.
I am Delmarva Dental Services.
I am Delmarva Dental Services.
Know you're in good hands at Delmarva Dental Services.
Our team works together to care for you.
I am Delmarva Dental Services.
We are Delmarva Dental Services.
We make things easier by offering weekend and evening hours.
You'll leave with a smile knowing our team cares about you.
Together with you,
we are Delmarva Dental Services.
Open 6 days a week with convenient hours. Call and schedule your appointment today.
Late Night with Seth Meyers. Late nights on WRDE.
16 years ago, we founded Community Bank Delaware with the goal of providing high-quality banking services to our local community. Here you meet with decision makers, people just like you who live in and love this community. We provide the newest banking technologies to our customers, supported by our local team of banking professionals. Our bank serves clients throughout Sussex County, and we continue to grow, all thanks to you. Community Bank Delaware, where community matters.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness!
With free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join the judgment-free zone today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
If you're watching this, odds are you're someone who's looking to learn a new skill to level up your career, or you're an employer looking for specialized training and credentials for your employees. Like working with your hands? We offer HVAC, construction, welding, and even heavy equipment operation. We can teach you how to maintain the water quality in your community or get your commercial driver's license. All this opportunity is just a few clicks away.
Download the DSN app today, driven by Preston Automotive Group.
Cap off the season with the 4 best days of fall at Sunfest. Experience the ultimate celebration of food, drinks, arts, crafts, and entertainment along the boards from October 19th to the 22nd. Embrace fall with a variety of fun activities, including beach bonfires, corn maze, tractor rides, and pet and bicycle events. Shop around over 200 arts and crafts vendors. Immerse yourself in music with an incredible lineup of free musical performances. Enjoy free family fun all day. Visit ococean.com/sunfest for more.
WRDE First Alert Weather, brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland.
Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. And everybody in the newsroom is looking at me saying, oh, I'm ruining their weekend. Sorry. But listen, even though we have a chance, I even said you are in my ear right now, even if you look at these chances of rain, they're not all day. They're just strictly in the afternoon between about 2 to 4 o'clock. So it's not an entire day of rain, even though we have a chance of rain every single day. So can I have all my friends back now, Maddie?
Thank you. And thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.